Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Tim.
And this is Twinfluenced, our podcast with hot takes and unfiltered thoughts about everything pop culture and current.
Join us every Tuesday.
And get Twinfluenced. All right, hi guys. Welcome to another episode of Twinfluenced. This is our Real Housewives of Orange County second episode recap for where's my notebook? Oh, right here. They called it old faces, new places. I thought it should be called new faces, old places.
I guess. But I mean the faces are new, kind of.
They are.
But only I felt like Gretchen should we just jump to that?
Well, let's start
please.
by saying, did you like the episode or not?
It was okay. It was a good episode, I guess. It was a filler episode. But I felt like it was good.
That's what I was like. It was like an episode where they were like ramping it up for future stuff. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought the first episode was better, but it wasn't
I agree.
bad.
I felt like the first episode was more action packed, and I felt like I don't know. I felt like the premiere was a really strong premiere, although
I agree.
I'm not liking the direction the season is going in.
Really? I
Yeah.
figured after this episode, I had a feeling you were going to say something like that.
Yeah.
Referencing the Katie and Shannon thing.
Well, that and because it's just like I don't like that it's a Katie takedown.
Oh, you think it's a Katie takedown?
It is a Katie takedown season. And I mean, Shannon is just very easily influenced. So that's disappointing.
Well, so I had a few more things before the dinner, but I don't know. Should we just get right into the dinner at the end?
No, because I have things before the dinner too.
Okay.
So I want to start with when the Three Stooges are meeting up at that one spa place, and
you're referring to Emily, Gina, and Tamra.
Yeah. And they are saying that.
Oh, well, before we get into that, my question was, so is Shape Shop, could you ever do this? For those who could you ever do one of those things? Like the
rolling wheel?
Yeah.
I don't get the point of it.
I was like, no,
I feel like
to that.
These
I could never.
Companies
it was weird.
Make so much money scamming rich and secure white women.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, but back to the episode, what you were saying.
For them to be mad that Shannon defended Katie, saying she doesn't like it when everyone goes after one person, and then for them to say it's not a gang up, they're all just calling Katie out for stuff that she's done to them allegedly. Well, then it's when you're all doing it simultaneously, then yeah, it's a gang up.
Okay, that's what you brought that to exactly where I wanted to go with that, because I was going to ask you if you thought it was a gang. So you think you agree with Shannon, it was a gang up.
It was 1,000% gang up. They coordinated that.
I think the thing is, they all have their grievances with her, so I wouldn't necessarily agree that is a gang up, but I do kind of agree with Shannon of time and place. I kind of agree, if just in because I've experienced this in personal situations where it's it doesn't feel good when you're just sitting there and you're watching four people say the same thing towards one person in a group setting, even if it's okay, yes, what you're saying is 100% true, but it just still feels not right doing it in a group setting like this in front of other people.
They're grasping at straws to be mad at this woman. And I
actually don't think so, because we actually got more into the shit that she was doing and stuff.
But then how many times did she have to
this episode
apologize, and they just can't let it go?
But she never, and even Shannon was you're not really apologizing. When you're saying but or if after an apology, that's not a real apology.
It's because she's defensive. She feels like she has to defend herself because she has everyone coming
Right. So
after
that's not a
her.
real apology. And then
But
she
that doesn't
admitted
mean
that
that
she
she's.
did call the lady on, she called the lady on Instagram after saying she didn't. So that was,
But let's not pretend like that's really that big of a deal.
but she lied about it. That's like kind of a, like, it's the one thing to do it. It's another
Yes,
thing to
she's a
deny
liar, but
doing
they're
it.
all liars. So I
Yeah,
think we
but
just need
so
to
you
get
get called
over
out.
it.
So you're allowed to be called out for being a liar if you're going to lie, I think.
Okay, and then you move on and you say, I'll try not to lie in the
Sure.
future. Let's move on and be friends. And they don't want to. So how is it okay for
Okay.
Tamara to lie all the time or for Gina to lie all the time and
I
we'll
don't
be
think it's
friends
okay
with
for
them?
Gina to lie all the time.
But
I have
they
a serious
do.
problem with Gina's lying. And I think Gina
And
should.
then
It's time for Gina to get off the show. There, I said it.
it's
She's so
been
annoying. And then she's like, she's the one making this
it's
whole
been
big
time.
whoop-de-doo about it. And then she's the first to be like, and I'm really sorry. Like, I really regret what I did. And I just really want us to move past this. Like, this is your shit, Gina. You're starting this shit. You've
It's
been
been
starting this
past
shit.
her time. I would love
Yeah.
to see a
So I'm over
season
Gina.
without Gina, but with Emily and see how Emily
I
does without her. I would love to
I
see that.
agree. I agree.
But my thing
But
is
no, wait.
with this dinner that they
I
had,
don't
not the
want to
dinner,
go
the
there yet.
lunch, the
Oh,
spa thing.
okay, the spa.
And then
And then
when Tamra brought up how
yeah,
randomly she pulls up this convenient information
the
that
gallery shot.
yeah, yeah. And then they're like,
Okay,
"Oh,
that's
you
funny
need
because I
to
wrote the same
bring
thing
it
because I was
up."
like, why is this just now coming out?
Because that's how
When
Tamra
do they?
operates.
Well, and even, she kind of hinted at that even in one of her like little talking heads. She was like, "Oh, I forgot about it until I remembered," and then she was like laughing.
Because she
But
didn't forget, she was saving it for when it was convenient for her to use. That's how she operates.
I
She's
respect
evil.
that.
I
I
don't
respect
respect
that.
that.
Um, well, I do.
Because if she was
And
really a friend to Shannon, she would have brought it up then. But she only wants Shannon to be her friend so that it's convenient for her.
well, no,
Anyway,
because my question is
let's
like,
move on.
it seems like the gallery shot happens after they film the season, right?
But the point is, Tamara's crying and saying she's trying to make up with Shannon, but Shannon wants nothing to do with her. So if she's really trying to make up with Shannon, she would have told her that when it happened. But she's not
I
trying to
agree,
make up
but
with
you want to
Shannon.
do it on camera, I would do it. You get more tea,
She
but
could have done it on camera. She could have done it at the reunion. She could have done it. Literally, she could have done it so many times on camera, and she chose to wait. And she didn't even tell it to Shannon. She told it to a
yeah, the
group
Gina
of
brought it
girls.
right. You're right. But I don't
And
think that's like necessarily a bad thing the way she did because also it's like
it is,
they're not
well,
that close, so it's not like Shannon probably wouldn't have believed her if she just came up and said it. Like I kind of think the way it came
but
out
she believed it instantly because
because
she believes everything instantly. She's very
she believed it because
influential.
she admitted that it happened. She literally said, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
recorded you, but I didn't film you."
But she didn't send it to Alexis in the way that they're twisting it.
She
But
played it for
anyway,
Alexis. She acknowledged that she played it for Alexis. She
there's a
admitted to
difference between
that.
playing it for Alexis and then sending it to
Not
her.
really, because if you're in a lawsuit and then you're taking this audio recording of Shannon, taking it to the person who's suing Shannon or is
I mean,
engaged
for
to the guy
it
suing
was not,
Shannon, and
it
you're like,
was
listen
a
to
bad
this
thing to
crazy
do for
bitch. That's
sure.
like, that's so Shannon has all, like, I'm actually on Shannon's side for this. Like, she should be angry at Katie.
She should be
And
angry
she was
at
helping
Katie,
Katie.
but
She's
like
never
it's
was nasty to Katie. Even last season,
agreed,
she was never nasty to Katie.
definitely.
And that's another thing. Like Katie was in her little talking head was like making Shannon's anger or whatever about her. She said she was angry that they were there supposed to have a great fun time and Shannon ruined it. That's none of your that's nothing to do with you. How Shannon acts shouldn't
The
prevent Shannon's
see,
always a gloomy person. So how is that
here's
gonna affect
the thing.
your how's that gonna affect you? It shouldn't.
Here's the thing with Katie. The things she does are questionable at best, but it's hard for me to
Uh
go
yeah,
against her
at
when
best.
everyone else is already going against her. So I
Because
feel
you're
a
a
need to
contrarian.
defend her. I feel the need to defend her because she's being like ganged up on, and
No.
people have done worse things in that in that specific franchise. And I feel like and I don't want to say it's like a microaggression, but it's like they just cannot let the things she does go,
I
and it's
think
getting
it's just
old.
because she's new and
Jen
they
was
just don't know her
new,
as
and
well.
they
But
welcomed
Jen's
her
not a
in
psycho bitch. Jen doesn't DM people.
that we know of. Jen is also I have some
Jen's
thoughts
kind
on
of
Jen.
nasty though, and I don't like Jen. And she kind of
I don't
seems
think she's
dumb.
nasty.
She's kind of like dumb.
But yeah, they were definitely trying to break up the growing alliance of Katie and Shannon rather than trying to help Shannon, is all I'm gonna say.
Well, because Gina was all pissed that Shannon stood up for her, so she's like, "Well, what about this?" So I agree, but
Right.
that's
They
that's
wanted to
Gina for
break that
you.
up. That was all three of them, not just
But one
Gina.
thing
It
I
was,
love
and
about
Tamara's the
Tamara is
one
she's
that
always
pitched
has
it.
the Tamara always has the tea, and that's why the show would be nothing if Tamara didn't have the tea. So
The show
you gotta respect Tamara for that. She always got the gossip.
because she also talks to bloggers and invites them on her podcast. So isn't that interesting?
I don't. I'm gonna. I neither know nor what is it? I am
I
neither
can
aware
neither
or not
confirm
aware
nor
of those.
deny
I can neither confirm nor deny, and therefore I'm
the
going to
lie.
deny, and demand strict proof thereon.
To pivot, I'm gonna say that I love
So,
Archie
okay.
and I think he's so cute and I want a golden retriever too.
I want a golden retriever so badly, and I'm gonna name him what? I'm gonna name him Judith.
Him?
Her. All right, we can't
W-
stop for so long, so let's move on.
would you consider Botox to be plastic
Oh,
surgery?
that's, I would consider it a procedure, a plastic procedure.
So you don't consider, so is that a yes or a no?
In terms of like when I would say it falls under like when people ask, "Have you had work done?" Have you, then it would be like a yes, but like it's not actually surgery. So like that's like it's kind of like a loophole when you like say, "I've had no plastic surgery."
Then they should say I
But you've
haven't had
had
plastic
work
surgery,
done.
but
But you've had
I
work
just get
done because she's
Botox.
definitely had fillers. She's definitely had Botox.
She's definitely had filler and Botox, and she also wears a pound of makeup on her face.
She does. Like her face looks flat because of her how much makeup she has on it.
Which is
And
not to say she doesn't look
her
good. It's
voice
just some
sounds like a smoker, not to
she probably is a
diss,
smoker.
but she sounds like an angry smoking lady.
Well, that's just what happens when you get old.
Well, I guess. So, are you ready to move on to the dinner?
Um, I before the dinner, I just want to say quickly that Tamara, for some reason, thinks Jen is trying to steal her life. And I would just say no one wants
Okay,
Tamara's
but Heather
mess of a
called that out.
life.
She's like, if you're gonna steal
Heather
someone's
did
life,
call that out.
that was, and
And
Heather
I
was
would
like, get
rather
it,
be
queen.
Heather.
Get it, queen, because she's absolutely right. She's like, if of all the women on that show, whose life would you most mimic? And
I
it's
would
Heather.
rather be
It is
Heather.
Heather for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Now we
All
can move
right.
on to the dinner.
So Gretchen, she's a friend of, she's here, whatever, is commenting on a post, a public
Oh my God.
post, a
I'm
form
so
of
glad
contacting someone.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
Yeah.
I want to say that, first of all, Tamara talks about the child that doesn't speak to her the most than any
Answer
other
the
of the
question.
children.
Answer the question.
What was the question?
Is commenting on a post contacting someone?
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's a form of communication.
But that's not really contact. That's a reply to a post that she made and it doesn't need to go further. And it probably didn't.
But you don't know what that led to after.
She says that it didn't that was it. There was no contact.
Well, she doesn't seem like a squeaky clean wheel.
You know who's a fucking dirty, rusty wheel? Tamra Judge.
No. That I
Tamra always involves her child into everything. She's
It's
oh
weird
her
for a grown woman who has a public relationship with a mom to then comment on that child's post. Like that's just like have some restraint. You're
it's because Gretchen
it
is a
goes both
hater.
ways. Gretchen is a hater and she's not immune from like everything that it's like Heather was saying, like everything that they're accusing each other of is a two-way street.
Exactly.
So I
I'm
think
not
it's
s-
wrong for you to take one side over the other, especially when you're taking Gretchen's side.
I can support Gretchen's hate because I share her hate, but I also know that she needs to just let it go and move on. And she probably would be way happier. And she probably would have been brought back on the show if she had let it go because
And I think
she
the
had,
child support thing and the kid custody thing is such a sensitive topic because it's true. And I could look at Slade and tell you it's true.
I mean, I don't know their life, but it
And he
probably
never
is
sued her
true.
over it. He never sued her.
But still, it's a tit for tat. They both talk about each other's children.
And I think
So
it is weird he if the mom had to have a GoFundMe, then that means that he at
that's
minimum
from
had no
Tamara's
funds.
opinion that that happened.
It's in
And we
her
don't know why
opinion
she
that there was
said,
a GoFundMe.
and we don't know why there was a GoFundMe set up. It could have been for any reason.
Rich people don't have GoFundMes. They're rich.
Who's to say that they're rich if they're clearly not rich enough if they have to be on the show? Every time a housewife leaves the show and they're asked what's the one thing you miss about it, they always say the paycheck. So they're not that rich.
Yeah, but they're in Orange County. Like they're people can afford to bury their children. No offense. Not that they want to, but like
I
sorry.
am not going to talk about
Sorry.
that issue because that happened off camera, so I didn't really follow it. Let's talk about what happened on camera.
All right. I don't really have anything else to say about the uh I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about Katie and Shannon's love ending?
Well, before that, I want to talk about well, Katie and Shannon's love ending.
Yeah,
Oh, their friendship. I think it's horrible, and I think that this is exactly what Tamara and the others wanted was to break them up.
for
And
sure.
I think
Do you
that
think
now we're
Jen and Katie are gonna like because even Jen is like,
well, they're clearly next. You could tell by Jen, and I'm going to talk about that.
okay,
Is Jen a liar? Because I think
yeah.
she is starting to be like she's just a
I think
convenient
she's lying,
forgetter.
yeah.
Like either Katie and Gina are liars, which is possible, or Jen is the
Katie and
liar
Gina are
because
both liars.
I know. But like why are like every time something is brought like, oh Jen, you said this, or Jen, you were here when this happened. It's no, I wasn't there. No, I didn't say that.
Right,
No, I don't remember
right.
that. That hadn't happened to me.
Yeah, it
So
is happening too many times. And I kind of am following. I think maybe I would think Katie is using Jen to like back her up, and Jen is like maybe forgetting to stay out of it, which is lying. So I could see what you're going with that, and I would agree.
yeah, I think
Which is
that
weird because you would think like if they were truly such great friends, they would want to stick up for each other. Another thing
because
I've been like thinking is like
Jen doesn't
with
want to dirty her hands.
yeah, but that kind of reminds me like the thing with like Gina and Emily are supposed to be best friends, but then like Gina will go and kiki it up with people that Emily can't stand, and I think that's shady.
Who?
Like Heather and Emily were not getting along at all. Oh no. All right, sorry about that, guys. My phone stopped recording. I ran out of storage, but we're gonna pick it up right here. So, Gina and Emily, I think their friendship's kind of fake. That's all I was saying, going with
Well,
that.
they're
But I'm
only
ready.
friends because of this show.
Yeah. So I'm ready to move on from there.
But I don't think it's a fake friendship. But anyway, I
All
think
right.
that, this season is clearly the Katie takedown season. which I feel like that's so rude to do to someone who's only been on the show for 2 seasons. I hope that Gretchen can throw some heat on Tamra because that's whose takedown season it should be.
I disagree. I think Tamara fits perfectly in the show and should stay in the show.
I think
Gretchen's not
Tamra,
even good enough to get a whole orange back. She can only be a friend.
that's her only purpose should be to take down Tamra and then go. She doesn't need to come
That's
back full time.
so then what? Then what? That's not a real purpose then. That's
It's part of
stupid.
the storyline.
That's to take down someone.
Yeah.
That's a storyline.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
That's the MO of Tamra Judge.
But it's Gretchen doing it.
Yeah. Got fight fire with fire.
Oh my God, you're such a hypocrite.
No.
What other comments? I only have really like one last thing to comment on. So, any last final thoughts?
Just the usual. Tamara doesn't take accountability. No one gives Katie the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, just that.
But Katie doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt because she's been caught lying continuously.
Not that big of a deal.
Okay, that's what you think. My only thing is with Tam. I'm not even going to say this actually because I don't want you to pile on Tamara, so never
No,
mind.
just say it. Show that you could critique your own fave.
Fine, unlike you.
No, I can critique my faves.
One thing I'll say is I'm so far I like Shannon this season. Still not over
Great.
everything she did, but I'm growing. She's treading fine for me so far. The one thing that Tamara said, I'm the only person that can affect my life. And that is a line that gets thrown at me all the time. And I don't like it because it is a deflection from trying to take accountability.
Yeah,
And my
it is.
so I didn't like that. But other than that, I love Tamara.
I hate
All right,
Tamra.
so I guess that's all we have then, huh?
I guess so.
All right,
Tune in
so
next
tune in
time.
for Tuesday for our full episode of Twinfluenced, and tune in next week for episode 3 of Real Housewives of Orange County recap. And let us know by emailing us at twins@twinfluenced.net whether you liked the episode, what you think about Katie, what you think about Gretchen coming back, um,
And what you think of Tamra.
and all that. What do you think if you agree that Gina should go? All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.